Alright folks, let's do this one last time. My name is D-Man1954, and for the past 4 years, I've been the one and only Spider D-Man.
Hey guys, D-Man 1954 here.
I'm pretty sure you know the rest. Kept up with news for a while, like a few years. What's up, everybody? D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing another Godzilla vs. Kong news and updates. Then I started to lose motivation. It became a real big struggle to make these videos. Took 6 days off, fell 11 pages behind in terms of things that I need to cover. All of a sudden we get here, and now there's supposedly a trailer 3 dropping today, but I don't care anymore, alright? I'm taking it one video at a time here. If I can't keep up, I can't keep up. You're just gonna have to live with it. Sorry, that's just how it is. I've said it in previous videos. It's just me. I've got no teammates here. It's just me. So if a trailer 3 drops while I'm working on this video, oops, I don't care. I'm not gonna cover it. I'll cover it eventually, I'll say. Not right now. I'm gonna focus on this. We're gonna take it one video at a time. I do very much expect a trailer 3 to be out by the time this video comes out. I'm not happy about that. All right, let's start out with some art, because why not? These come to us from Goji2019 on Twitter. Hit us with the long-lived D-Man1954 arts. Pretty cool. It's very interesting. I never got any fan art like this before, so I think it's pretty sweet. I like how you can switch between the two and you see the difference between me, and then you've got my my logo, my character that I drew. Thank you very much for that. Tapwing did his rendition of Ghidorah. This one's really cool. Ghidorah looks super menacing here. You got the silhouettes of Mothra, Rodan, and Godzilla, but Ghidorah's the focus. He looks huge, really menacing, really long necks. Very interesting design. That'd be cool to see in an animation. Abe did his Golden Demise picture. It's his version of Ghidorah on top of Rodan's volcano. Awesome. He did a stellar job with it. I'm a big fan. Matt Frank showed us his sketch in progress. This is his Talent House submission, which, like, come on, Matt Frank. That's so cheap, dude. We all know that Matt Frank's art is amazing. I would not be surprised if he wins. I feel bad for some of the other people that entered into this competition because, like, you're competing with the professional Godzilla artist, like one of the #1 Godzilla artists in the world. You're now competing with him. Matt Frank, your art's amazing. That's all I'll say. Edgar Fierce, is that how you say that? Probably not. He has his submission to the Godzilla Talent House competition. For those of you that don't know, Talent House is doing a Godzilla King of the Monsters fan art competition. This one was Edgar Fierce's submission. It's really cool. I love it. It's a comic booky inspired picture here. You got Mothra using her God rays at the top. I like the 3-panel splash of Ghidorah with all his heads and the lightning going around it. Godzilla's cool because he busts out of his panel, and Ghidorah does too, but Godzilla's is a little bit more defined of him breaking through the panel, breaking the 4th wall there, I guess. I don't know. And then you got Rodan. Pretty damn cool. Hey, April's Loot Crate box will contain some Godzilla gear. We have a Godzilla picture for it and a Ghidorah picture for it. I have gotten Loot Crate in the past. They usually are generally worth it, I'd say. I know they did Atomic Glow Godzilla before as a Loot Crate exclusive, so that was a NECA figure that they did through Loot Crate. They might do something like that again. I'm not gonna get this Loot Crate box. I don't really want it, if I'm honest. We have our look at some Rubie's Godzilla merchandise. We have the Godzilla and Ghidorah wall breakers that look a lot cooler than I thought they would, especially that Ghidorah one looks way cooler than I anticipated it would. We also have our look at their Rodan rubber mask, which has become a meme in the community. I think it looks a little weird, but it's a Rodan mask. I don't know how they could have made it any better. We also have a look at their not so fantastic Godzilla costume. I'm not a big fan of this, their Godzilla 2019 costume. There was a new Godzilla King of the Monsters TV spot. You probably know that. I've covered it on the channel before. It was the beautiful TV spot. It was a full minute long. Might as well have been a trailer. Do we really need another trailer? No, we don't, but we're gonna get one. This was a good enough trailer. It was a minute long. It was a Wizard of Oz inspired trailer. Really cool. I've got the YouTube video linked down below. I've also got another version of it done by Toho Kingdom. It's an HD version linked down below. I've got the beautiful social media version, which is the version with text. It's actually the same length as the original trailer, but it's got text on it and it's in a different aspect ratio. It was a beautiful TV spot, and it, you know, that was an unintentional pun. It A beautiful, beautiful TV spot. That's what I'll say. G-Man on Twitter pointed out that it has some classic Universal horror imagery in it. I did use this in my breakdown. I'm sorry, I forgot who I actually stole the image from, but here you go. I'm crediting him now. It was G-Man on Twitter. Good shout, G-Man. Some Godzilla fans found the real life location where we can see this image of Ghidorah on the mountain with the cross. We actually found the cross in front of a big mountain in real life. It's a real location in Mexico. The thing is, it's not in Mexico in the movie. It's in Isla de Mona, which is off the coast of Mexico. So it's like they took a real life location and put it on this made up island because, of course, the real life Isla de Mona is nothing like the Isla de Mona in King of the Monsters. It's actually in a different location entirely on the map as well. I have a Toho Kingdom Ifukube music re-edit of the beautiful TV spot down below if you want to check it out. I'd recommend it. It's kind of cool. So it's got that Ghidorah the three-headed monster music playing over the TV spot. It's a lot of fun. I'm not going to play it here because of copyright issues. There was a new Godzilla Monarch clip that was released. It's not an actual clip from the movie. It's just a clip of some Monarch paintings that were discovered, and it's got Serizawa narrating. Pretty cool. I'll break it down here for you. Basically, we find out that Godzilla is proof that coexistence is possible. We learned that from Serizawa's narration, and that's, I'm assuming, because we've seen his temple, so we've seen that humans at one point did live with Godzilla. Serizawa seems to believe that Godzilla is the key to that. You know, first of all, I just want to say it's cool that we got Serizawa to actually narrate this, Ken Watanabe to actually narrate it as Serizawa. That's a lot of fun. Second, we learned through the set visits that this will be Serizawa's primary motivation going into Godzilla King of the Monsters is learning how to coexist with the monsters through Godzilla. Somehow, through Godzilla, he thinks we can figure that out. I like the picture here of Godzilla, Mothra, and humanity all teaming up against Ghidorah. I don't know if this is supposed to be in the past or a prophecy or what it's supposed to mean, but it's a cool image. I don't know where Rodan is though. It's kind of sad that they cut my boy out. A lot of people freaked out over this image of Godzilla firing his atomic breath because you can see two MUTOs behind Godzilla's atomic breath. There's also some fish on there. Not sure what the deal with those fish is.
That's a lot of fish.
This is a cool Mayan-inspired picture. I don't know. It's kind of Mayan or Egyptian. It's Godzilla as something of like a sun god. I don't know. It's like a Godzilla as a god picture. It's cool. And I don't have anything to say about the last image, but I'm bringing it up so that I can show a screenshot of it so that everyone else can see it. There you go. You better watch out because Godzilla's on his way to WonderCon. He's already there. I have the thing linked down below where Monarch was like, hey, Godzilla's coming. So I have a link down below. They did a little social media promo for it being like, hey, watch out, Godzilla's coming for the southern California coast. Well, we better worry. And then he landed at WonderCon just in time for the Secrets of the MonsterVerse panel to kick off. The panel did kick off. We have a whole bunch of images of people there. Lots of fun. There's a lot of Godzilla Aftershocks reveals coming out from it. There's new images, new plot details, everything like that. So we'll break that all down in a second. There were some quotes talking about Aftershock, saying that it will be the perfect sequel to Godzilla 2014 and prequel to Godzilla 2019. It takes place in between those two stories. And then there were some quotes about how it's hard not to treat the kaiju as living characters. They find that to be one of the easiest things, is to treat them like living characters. And then it ends with the quote, "In Godzilla we trust." Before we get into what else happened at that panel, I'll break down the Aftershock reveals. Basically, here's how it goes. Here's what we know for the plot. Nothing new. We already knew all this. Godzilla's species is endangered as a result of some sort of parasite hunting them down. A new monster rises from the depths of the earth and has these earthquake powers, it seems. Emma Russell tries to stop the threat before things reach apocalyptic proportions. This new monster has supposedly tangled with humanity before, and there is a shadowy figure hunting Emma along her journeys. That shadowy figure is Charles Dance's character from Godzilla King of the Monsters. That's real cool. Here's some of the things we learned from the panel is that, well, okay, this is actually something that we haven't learned that I'm interested in. Does this take place? Does Godzilla fighting this other monster, who we now have a name for, it's called MUTO Prime. Does Godzilla fighting MUTO Prime take place before or after 2014? I would think it takes place before. Here's my prediction, is that Emma Russell will be learning about all this as a result of something happening in the modern day that's freaking her out. That's why it's like, she's trying to stop something bad from happening. She's learning about this all in modern day, but it all happened way back in the past, because it just doesn't make sense that Godzilla would fight the MUTO Prime after the events of 2014, because we learned by Michael Dougherty. Michael Dougherty told us that Godzilla has not been seen since 2014 by the time King of the Monsters kicks off. So how the hell would Emma Russell be tracking him around the globe while seeing all this destruction happen? How would Earth be responding to all this destruction only to then not acknowledge it in Godzilla King of the Monsters and only talk about the 2014 events? It just doesn't make any sense. Unless they're going to create some sort of continuity errors here. This all happens before the events of the comic, Godzilla fighting the MUTO Prime, happens before the events of Godzilla 2014 at some point way in the distant past, and Emma Russell is just now learning about it. Now, I really kind of hope that's what happens because it will create continuity errors. I can already tell you that. Michael Dougherty has already told us that Godzilla King of the Monsters kicks off and people have not seen Godzilla since 2014 when he fought the MUTOs in San Francisco. That's the last time anyone saw him. So I really hope they stick to that here. And I think Michael Dougherty had a hand in writing Godzilla Aftershock, so it'd be surprising if it has continuity errors like that. Anyways, we have a new image of MUTO Prime hunched over. Pretty cool. He looks like a trilopod from the Godzilla Rulers of Earth comic series. We have another image here of our new characters. So we have Emma Russell, Dr. Graham, Dr. Serizawa, Jonah Allen, and Bearded Guy, who I don't know who that is. There's a new image of Monarch. So again, we've got Emma, Serizawa, Graham, and potentially Jonah Allen, who is Charles Dance's character. Maybe that's Dr. Stanton, who's another character in King of the Monsters. Can't quite tell. We do have an image of Godzilla 2014, I'll say, standing roaring into the smoke. This is actually him standing on top of a mountain, but we don't really have an HD picture of that. I would assume this comes after his fight with MUTO Prime when he is victorious. I did say that this is the 2014 Godzilla because it is. That's the 2014 design. They have not tweaked the design to make it look like 2019. I would not think that there'd be an in-universe reason for the design change. I think that this is just going to be to keep it more consistent with 2014 than 2019 because this is more of a 2014 sequel than it is a 2019 prequel from what we can tell. So I think they're just trying to stick with the 2014 Godzilla. There's a cool banner for Godzilla Aftershock that we saw during all this. It's like a blue banner. I like it. I like the colors. And then we have a Godzilla vs. MUTO Prime underwater image. This comes to us from the comic. Okay, here's where things get really confusing. First of all, I want to say it's cool because it reminds me of that Godzilla vs. Ghidorah underwater concept art, and seeing underwater battles is always fun. But there is a destroyed submarine in this shot, meaning that this probably takes place in the modern day. So I think it is going to create some continuity errors with King of the Monsters. We'll just have to keep an eye out on that. You know, Godzilla Awakening definitely created some problems with Godzilla 2014, so they'll probably do the same here. We learned a lot about MUTO Prime because they had a whole kaiju profile on him. They had a kaiju profile on Mothra, Rodan, and Ghidorah as well, but those were all things we had seen on the Monarch website before, so it was nothing new. We learned that MUTO Prime's real name is Titanus Jinshin Mushi. Titanus Jinshin Mushi. I think that's how you say that. I just looked it up. Jinshin Mushi is a mythological insect from Japan. It is described as a fist-sized insect that has branch-like appendages spouting from their thorax. They can swarm, causing small earthquakes. Okay, so that will explain the earthquake power. Jinshin Mushi, it's like some sort of, what, cryptid? Is that what we call them? Or is it an actual insect? No, it's a mythological insect, so it's not real. It is a cryptid, okay. I just Googled that because I was curious if it had any relevance. So in this comic book, it's called the earthquake beetle or the dragon beetle. Doesn't really look like a beetle. Both of those could be references to Megalon, by the way. The earthquake beetle, because it causes earthquakes wherever it goes, as we'll talk about in a minute. It's considered Godzilla's oldest adversary in the MonsterVerse, so he's been fighting this guy for a while. Has razor sharp backs with huge spines that stick out and an outer shell that make it hard to hit. Here's something that's important to note. It erupts from the earth like a mountain that is exploding. So what we might be seeing in the Godzilla King of the Monsters trailers is Jinshin Mushi rising from the ground, coming out. That is the spiky monster. I would doubt it though, because I think he's going to be killed in this comic series, but there could be another MUTO Prime that rises up at the end of Godzilla King of the Monsters so that we can always have more MUTOs in the MonsterVerse. Don't know for sure though. That's just speculation that I don't even think is true. I think that is just a new Titan that comes out of the ground in Godzilla King of the Monsters. I would assume that the MUTOs are going to die off in this comic book, but there's always the possibility, which is why I bring it up. So apparently he causes earthquakes wherever he steps, or she, I guess it is a she because it is the one that is pregnant or something, I'm not sure. She causes earthquakes wherever she steps because her feet tear into the earth's surface, and her feet are also capable of digging through Titan's skin, meaning she can break Godzilla's skin. She is genetically programmed to find a suitable host to reproduce inside of, so I guess that just means like she's genetically programmed to go, oh yeah, the Godzilla species is a good one to target. She uses other Titans' blood to feed her seeds. Interesting, so that's how the babies feed. Apparently she has this scorpion-like tail that can retract into her body, but she can stick it out and then dig it into opponents and release eggs inside of their stomach lining. She'll probably try that on Godzilla in this comic book. Actually, I have a prediction. We might see Godzilla die in this comic book, and then it might be revealed that it's a different Godzilla, but we'll get to that in a second. These eggs feed off nuclear energy, and they wind up killing their host from the inside out. They grow into spores where they can gestate for centuries before hatching. They are often laid in pairs, male and female. What is all this? What does all this mean? Well, this is basically an origin story for Godzilla 2014's intro. In Godzilla 2014 in the intro, after the 1954 time jump, once we cut to the 90s, we find out that there's a giant dead Godzilla body in the Philippines, and Serizawa's down there, and we find the MUTO eggs and the spores, basically. That's what this is all setting up for, is the dead Godzilla found in 2014. This is the backstory for how the male and female MUTO wound up inside that Godzilla. I would assume this comic book is gonna have a Godzilla killed by this monster in the Philippines. We might cut to modern day where we see Godzilla actually take this guy on underwater. Monarch just probably won't see him. I'm struggling with this here because Michael Dougherty said Monarch wouldn't have seen Godzilla since 2014, and he is in this comic book fighting another monster in front of a destroyed submarine. I don't know, but the 2019 Godzilla might show up at the end of this comic book and take on the MUTO Prime and wind up killing it, and it would be a little bit of a revenge story for him. He kills the children of this MUTO Prime that essentially killed off the last of his species, and now he gets to kill off the creature that did it itself, the creature that laid those eggs. So it'd be a good revenge story for Godzilla. Now that is everything in terms of Godzilla Aftershock that has been revealed as of me recording this video. More may have come out while I'm recording, but again, I can only take it one video at a time, so I will get there eventually. The last little bit of information we can talk about is that there was a special cameo at this event. It's not really a cameo because he joined as a panelist. He didn't just show up and leave. Michael Dougherty showed up at this panel. Michael Dougherty being the director of Godzilla King of the Monsters. He came on set. He made everyone do their Godzilla roars so that he'd stay. It was kind of funny to watch. Lots of videos of that. And then there were some pictures taken of him. Really cool. I like seeing him heavily involved in the MonsterVerse. Looks like they're all having a good time. That's a lot of fun. Supposedly new footage will be shown off at this panel, although it is unknown if the footage will come out online or not. If it does, I will cover it. I promise. Eventually I will cover it. I'm not going to be happy about it because I guarantee it is way too spoiler heavy. If it isn't, that is going to be the biggest relief in the world. I really hope it's just a re-edit of the other trailers using all the footage that we've seen so far, edited together into a third trailer. That'll be amazing. Most people haven't seen the TV spots, so that'd be a really cool way to reach wider audiences and keep us hardcore fans spoiler free. They're not going to do that. They're going to show way too much in this third trailer. Apparently it's 5 minutes of footage that we're going to see. I don't know. Why is my camera flickering light? What the hell is happening? I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just flicker light on screen. There's also the possibility that they show off exclusive clips from the movie. I don't want to see these clips. If they do, like, even if these are officially released, I'm not going to watch any clips of the movie before it's out. I'm not going to ruin the movie for myself, even though I feel like I already know way too much as is. Here's the thing though, if they don't release any of this footage, don't send me the leaks because we know people are going to record it on their cell phones and leak it. Don't send it to me. That will be considered a leak and you will get blocked. I don't want to see it. If it's not supposed to be out, I don't want to see it. Don't bombard me with screenshots of it either. Thank you. So that'll do it for this one, boys and girls. I'll see you guys next time. D-Man out.